There's so much more to say about how they took away the land we love to see. Our dreams are lost for free.
The thing is, Saskatoon is looking at plans for their own bypass.
So they could have the same issue. So
they will have.
yeah,
Not
it'll
could
be
have, they
it'll be a
will have.
P3. It'll be Vinci, the French company, and disconcerting part. And
they
what
did a shitty job, for Christ's sake. If you've gone down that thing, they already need major repairs on it.
well, they have a $677 million maintenance contract for the next 30 years.
Well, there you go.
So they win minimum. Now they have to spend this money. Originally, the price was only $400 million to build
I
it.
know. And it ended up, what, 1.4?
Oh,
It's
it
$1
was
billion.
over $2 billion.
Yeah,
Plus,
yeah.
we don't know because you can't. We tried to get under freedom of information
Nicole right now.
from Vinci, and you can't audit an out of country company.
Yeah.
You can't get information.
Oh, I know.
So the thing that really gets people is the Coquihalla Highway, which is 324 kilometers, 4-lane highway, roughest terrain in the
mountains,
country.
yeah.
Cost $855 million
Yeah.
in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Regina bypass, 40 kilometers on flat prairie, costs more than even if you double the price of the Coquihalla Highway.
Yeah, it's still, there's no comparison. I know.
It doesn't make any sense.
It was corrupt from the get-go.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the opposition did a very poor job. I have lunch with Harry Van Mulligan on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And Harry is the old school NDP, and he says they really missed their mark when they let that one go. He says that should have never been allowed to go without any major opposition, you know.
No, they never even argued it. Even the two elections, they brought up a little bit about the GTH scandal, but then they brought up about the WE and the meters, the smart meters. That was old news. So, you know, all they did was pursue something that really didn't mean any difference. But I don't think they want to get into power because they would have to do a public inquiry, like with the Grant Devine scandal.
Yeah.
When the NDP got in, they ended up having a public inquiry, and 11 MLAs were charged criminally. And that was only $1 million scandal.
Same thing would happen here.
And if they did that, then it would make politicians look really bad. Murray Mandrick, well, he in an article a couple of years ago, he said that 98% of the people don't trust politicians. Now, I think he was being conservative.
Yeah. Well,
The bar is really low.
the bar is low, but for the most, I have no faith in right-wing politicians. Absolutely no faith in right-wing politicians, because their very nature is, what can I get out of this job? I mean, you look at Pierre Poilievre, you know, I mean, what is he bringing to the table for Canada? You know?
Well, he's vocal.
But what is he bringing to the table?
Yeah.
I could be, if you're in opposition, it's easy to be vocal. But what are you actually bringing to the table? You know, nothing. The man has never held a job, for crying out loud. And he's supposed to be for the working man? Well, good luck with that.
Well, I think they need to get AI in politics, get rid of the politicians, and start an AI political party.
Might happen,
Yeah,
never know.
AI is very good. It has the best of everything.
Well,
So,
up to a point, I guess. Everything is subject to abuse. You know?
but politicians, well, they make their own decisions. They don't cater to the masses. It's all about their little old boys club.
Politician only has one purpose in life, and that is to be reelected.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
No other purpose. You know, if you do get a good politician, if you get an honest politician, you're not going to last long. You know,
No.
I have very high regards for Ralph Goodale, because he did more for this province than anybody on the federal level ever did. And where's he? Out of here.
Yeah.
They got rid of him.
Yeah, we went to Ralph Goodale and he didn't do anything.
No.
He becomes a career politician
Because
and they don't want to rock the boat.
I realize that, but the thing is that he's federal too.
It's federal.
This is a provincial matter.
No, it's federal. It's a P3 project. Did you hear the latest? Is Bob Ray, not the politician, he was an aggregate salesman. He exposed the federal government's role in the aggregate scandal, which is the Minister of Infrastructure, Sohi, who was actually brought in from India. He got asylum here because he was a he was a criminal. So they brought him in. He got into politics in Edmonton as councillor, got elected by the federal political Liberal Party, became the infrastructure minister, and then his brother had a trucking company out of Edmonton, a Sikh trucking company, and they actually brought in 80 trucks to move the aggregate. Now they didn't have the aggregate secured because you have to do environmental, so it would have taken years to do it. So what the Saskatchewan government did is they gave them their own pits over at Indian Head at a value of $500 million. So they bought back their own aggregate, depleted $500 million, and paid them the $500 million for it. So this was an add-on, and if you go on our website and go under Show Me Your Regina, it's all there. It's all, and we sent that to all the politicians, the major politicians in Canada and provincially, and media. Guess how many responses we got? 0. This is big news. This proves the corruption beyond a reasonable doubt. So, but nobody wants to do it. In the RCMP, we went to the RCMP with 2,000 pages of information, tape-recorded conversations with the engineers that said they didn't agree with the location, and it was the developers that influenced it. What did they do? They did a fake investigation, and they ended up sending it to Manitoba, to the Attorney General there, and they said, well, there's no sign of any corruption here. So they said that, well, we spent 8,500 hours, we relied on the information freely provided to us, and we didn't meet the threshold to subpoena evidence. When you look at the GTH scandal, they could have bought the 54 acres from the Order of Nuns for $5,000 to $6,000 an acre, what everybody else is being paid in the area. But instead, which would have been a total of $325,000, they waited till Robert Topoff came along, who just happens to rent land to Bill Boyd, who's the minister of the GTH and the premier the premier. So he ended up making $6 million just by flipping the land.
Oh, I heard all about it.
Yeah, the deputy premier, Bill Boyd.
I was out of the province at the time, but I followed it because I've always followed Saskatchewan.
So, and then Brad Wall signed an order in council to pay Anthony Marquardt $21.1 million for 4 times as much land as they needed, 20 times the rate everybody else is getting. So it didn't make any sense at all, because everybody else is getting $5,000 to $6,000 an acre. So.
I think I lost my wife.
Oh. Well, my name is Nestor.
Al Vance.
Elvin?
Al Vance.
Al Vance?
Yeah.
Well, really nice meeting you, Al. And I'll give you a few more cards, hand them out, and you get a free book for it.
Okay. Great.
You're very knowledgeable. I appreciate your information.
I tried to be.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay.